And according to the state attorney general's office, since 2023, more than 200 Texas organizations have suffered data breaches, each one of those impacting at least 250 Texans. Those breaches could mean big legal costs if the organization gets sued over the breach, but a new cybersecurity law is hoping to cut down on that. KXAN's Kevin Baskar takes a closer look at the law and how one UT organization is helping local businesses get up to speed.
It's what we use every day, technology, much of it holding our personal data. But at the click of a button, you can lose everything.
We had $15,000 stolen from us.
Rachel B. Lee is a co-owner at Standout Authority. Her company was hacked through a phishing scheme.
Well, it felt horrible. Yeah, we're a small business. We don't have a ton of extra cash laying around.
Following the breach, her company teamed up with the Cybersecurity Clinic at UT, an organization dedicated to help small businesses beef up their digital defenses.
Malicious cyber threat actors, as we call them, are looking for that low-hanging fruit. They're looking for the path of least resistance, the easiest access.
Program lead of the clinic, Francesca Lockhart, says having such protocols in place can make the difference for a small business to stay afloat.
It can cause reputational damage. It can cause financial loss to your business to the point of, some businesses unfortunately having to shut down.
And that push to strengthen cybersecurity for small businesses is what Texas State Senator Cesar Blanco hopes to advance with Senate Bill 2610 becoming law. That law outlines the criteria for an acceptable cybersecurity program. If a small business meets that criteria, in the event of a breach, they wouldn't have to deal with the punitive damages if someone sues.
It's not really a free pass, but they're still very responsible for actual damages for following all the other laws and on data security, but they won't be subjected to any kind of additional punishment.
And that level of support is something Lee feels is needed.
I think having some legislation and support to give a little bit of grace as companies, especially the small ones, are learning and systematically changing how they do business is just the right thing to do.
Kevin Baskar, KXAN News.
This cybersecurity law is set to go into effect on Monday. Data breaches have been a big problem over the last few years. Back in June, researchers at Cyber News reported that the login info for 16 billion accounts across major companies like Apple and Google had been leaked online. It's considered one of the largest data breaches in history. Meanwhile, telecom giant AT&T is set to pay out more than $177 million to people around the country as part of a settlement after the company confirmed last year that tens of millions of customers' data was found on the dark web after a breach in 2019. The company also revealed last month that the data of nearly all customers was downloaded to a third-party platform in a 2022 security breach. If you think you've been impacted by either of the AT&T breaches, claims to be part of the settlement are open until November 18th. You can find out more on this story over on KXAN.com.
Taking a live look right now at I-35 South near US 290. You can see traffic flowing nicely out there now. Not too many people out there, but it is the area where first responders had all southbound lanes shut down for a few hours ago, because of a deadly crash involving a pedestrian. So the southbound lanes of I-35 have since reopened this morning, as we just showed you. But this crash happened overnight just before 12 a.m. on southbound lane of I-35 at US 290 near Cameron Road. EMS says one person was pronounced dead there on scene. 2 people also taken to a local hospital with minor injuries. The lanes reopened just before 5 o'clock this morning.
First warning weather with meteorologist Tommy House.
Another hot day today, now 19 triple-digit days so far this year. We have a flood threat that lasts through your Saturday and overnight tonight, level 2 out of 4 for the Austin area, much of the KXAN viewing area. Right now, clouds and radar, some pockets of slow-moving thunderstorm activity, numerous lightning strikes, about 30 to 40% rain coverage at this time. That should be the case through the rest of the day today. Rain chance picking back up tomorrow, up to 80% in that numerous to almost widespread category. By Sunday evening, that's when we expect the heaviest and the most widespread flood threat to occur. So look at Sunday, the expansion of this level 2 out of 4 flood threat goes all the way down south toward the San Antonio area. So all of central Texas tomorrow has to keep an eye on the sky and stay weather aware. So clouds and radar through this evening will show that the rain begins to wind down, maybe even perhaps some clearing skies for some, but more clouds than not. Kicking off tomorrow morning, some slow-moving thunderstorms out and about, more clouds than sun, followed by a little bit more heavy rain coverage moving through the Austin area during the afternoon, heading off into the evening hours. And then that rain chance drops even more for your Labor Day itself. Out the door tomorrow morning, 75 in Austin, Georgetown, Lockhart, and Bastrop. Maybe some upper 60s out toward Mason, Gillespie, and San Saba County from 50 to 80% rain chance. Temperatures 70s, upper 80s. So the clouds and rain should cool us down. Not expecting heat like today. Beyond Sunday itself, Sunday night into Monday, that front will eventually work its way further south. That should dry us out for at least Tuesday, Wednesday through the middle half of the week. Until Monday, I think an additional 1 to 3 inches of rain overall on the low end, but some isolated spots could get 3 to 5 inches in some heavy downpour activity south of Austin, but 1/4 of an inch to an inch with our rain chance picking back up a little bit next Saturday when Texas is back at DKR. Temperature-wise, 80s, low 90s, our normal high is 95, so relatively a cooler than normal stretch for the next 7 days. Your 7-day forecast, we'll have more updates tonight at 10 o'clock on KXAN.
Parents' rights or censorship. A new law that bans certain student groups in every Texas public school now faces a challenge in court.
It tells us that who we are is controversial and unwelcome.
Now some students are pushing back. We look at what's at stake in the battle ahead and a shift in the race for U.S. Senate. Why changes in the polls could influence a critical endorsement for candidates in this crucial campaign. Plus, state leaders announce a major investment in healthcare for rural Texans. The financial boost from the feds as smaller communities face a crisis to provide care. We'll bring you an in-depth look Sunday on State of Texas.
An iconic Austin business is settling into its new location after moving a few blocks up the street. Today marked Waterloo Records' first day at its new location further up North Lamar Boulevard. KXAN's Abigail Jones got to see the grand reopening firsthand.
Thank you so much for being here. We're so thrilled to welcome you to the new Waterloo Records.
All right, yeah. Thanks for coming, everyone.
What a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be part of this and this incredible team. But I think when Trey and John and I talked about it, we didn't want to see a world in which Waterloo didn't exist. And especially with how many people come to Austin, the live music capital of the world, we really wanted this new store to be a place that everybody can come to. They can experience music as well as buy it. And, you know, like the room we're standing in here, see something that you've never seen in a record store before. You'll still find the amazing selection of music, DVDs, Blu-rays that the team have been curating for years and that have put Waterloo on the map. You get to see just a little bit more about how music is created and more of a creator hub too. We have a new podcast studio where people will be able to rent out to create interviews and content there. We have installed a crazy Dolby Atmos mixing studio, which will also be rentable to the community to do spatial audio mixing. Obviously this gold record room, as well as a cafe with cold beverages and just some seating and a place to stay a little longer.